Finally TV, here we are, party people, back again for another edition of Voice of the Valley. And you already know, don't just dream, inspire. Don't just imagine, create, and just don't believe, achieve. It's like that. It's been like that for a long time, since 2018. We here again, party people. It's your boy Gabriel, back with another guest, a returning guest. The way these things come about is kind of cool too, right? Because you meet people along the way, you know, you have your interactions, they move on, and you always know if you were in good graces, if years later
you can come back.
Yeah, you can come back, right? So none other, without further ado, I have a Brigavelli here.
Hey guys, thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. Put it there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Long
time. Listen, I was looking at the archives.
Okay.
It was episode 17. It was 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. We were in this room.
Yes.
I don't know. It wasn't this camera, because I didn't get my HD camera, my 4K camera till later. Better camera, better table.
Yes.
But we got our orange wall, though.
Yeah, at least we got that.
Yeah, we got the orange
Still
wall.
looks familiar.
Yes, absolutely. So, listen, 5 years, it's quite some time. A lot of shit can happen in 5 years.
Yes.
You know? So, you know, when we were first getting together, you were very busy in the area. A lot of performances, whether they were small or big audiences, no stage or a stage. You personally were getting into it, right? You were doing your thing. Take us on the little bit of a journey since that time. You know, what's that, 2019-ish, right?
Yeah.
What happened? Where we at?
Okay, so I was previously with the group 845th Street. We ended up going our separate ways, and from that point I kind of just, I guess, like, focused more on myself, on my own career. I've been doing a lot of performances in the city, a lot in Queens, a lot in Brooklyn, and then I've really just kind of just stayed in the studio, really focused on my music and what kind of sound I wanted to be, or who I wanted to be.
Sure.
And yeah, so ever since, I've just really been able to cultivate my sound. So I really feel like a personal growth in the past 5 years. And I know when we first interviewed, I was working on an album.
Right.
It was a totally different place in my mind, totally different concept. It's kind of like something of like pain and trauma and things I've gone through. But I kind of healed myself through the growth of the music, and now it's such a more positive project that I'm working on.
Gotcha.
Something that recaps those years and then the new me.
Okay. Even like your overall look is a little tweaked, right?
Yeah,
you know,
I grew
looking
up.
good. Yeah, looking good. So with that, in that transition, you know, you've had some experiences in there, right? Where more hands-on in a studio.
Yes.
Right? Like actually recording not just yourself, but like other people and helping out with all that. How did that part of it kind of weave itself into this new Brigavelli that we have today?
So I'm honestly so grateful for the experience I had running the studio. I learned so much. I learned about recording, about equipment, about what I wanted to sound like, that I was able to build my own studio from home. And, you know, that's where I do all my work now. And it just taught me a lot in understanding what sounds good and what doesn't. Like, when I first started doing music, I thought everything sounded good that I did. Right. I go back and listen to it, and I'm like, traumatized by the sound. Like, you know, I'm sure. I know. And so now I'm just more confident and happy with my skill level. You know, I've always felt like I'd had at least a natural talent in singing. Sure. But being able to write better and being able to record myself in the sound that I want has just created a new level for me. You know?
You know, what I find interesting about those experiences is that, you know, when people come into the studio, they'll say something. I want this type of sound. I want, you know what I'm saying? And then you hear the execution of it. Yes. And you're like, I thought you said, right? You know? Yeah. And it's not that. So, like, I think those experiences are good learning ones. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because then you start to go, I want it to sound this way, but what am I actually doing?
Yeah, what am I missing? What am I doing?
Right. You know, the execution of it all. So that part I think is invaluable.
Yes,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean? So like somebody smart like you that's trying to take the lessons from that, I think it's good. It's like it's not any time wasted. It's like dope, you know?
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
No, that's cool, man. And you know, it was tough because, you know, you were out around here performing a lot. I came out a couple times. I would see you otherwise. And, you know, shout out to Drawzilla doing events, and I got to interview you a couple times there, you know. So, you know, we've had a good, like, working relationship since the jump, you know. And then you up and left, right? Yeah. Then you was gone, right? And so why did you leave the area?
I had felt like I wasn't growing as fast as I wanted to. Okay. And I'm very, very cautious about my time and what I'm doing now. You know, like, they always say, like, not all money is good money. It's kind of similar in that. And, like, not all your time spent working in certain situations are good for you. So it's like you have to be selective with what kind of opportunities you take. Like, at first, I'd take any show. I would take any track. I'd take any feature. I can't do that anymore.
Just being hungry and
you know, it taught me a lot, and I'm grateful again for those things, but now I have to be selective. I can't be at every show. Not everything is worth my time. You have to make the choices in order to get to the next level you want to be at. Or else you stay in the same place. And I did not want to stay in the same place. I need to expand. Like any artist, we want to expand. We want to go global. And that's where that came in. Gotcha. Like, I just felt a little stagnant. You know, and there's no shade to anybody who stays in this area and continues to work. No. But there are other opportunities. Even if you can stay, you can also go out and travel and come back home. You have to get out of your area because you'll stay. You'll get, you know?
Yeah, no. I mean, even with FinallyTV, you know that I started this specifically to shine light on the 845 artists and businesses, right? It's been like that from the jump. But even I had to expand.
Yes.
You know, because
and
like...
that's a good thing.
Yeah, because like... I'm like, okay, I think I've hit maybe not the pinnacle of being media around here, but I've hit a point where people know about FinallyTV.
Absolutely.
I think some of them might be numb to it at this point, you know what I'm saying? Because it happens, right? Yeah. Other people get intrigued and inspired by it, do their own things. That's how I know it's working. Yes. You know what I mean? But I realized, like, if I bring an artist on here, I'm literally just showing them to all of us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not really accomplishing what I sought out to do. And what I sought out to do was to go, hey, spotlight over here right quick. You know what I'm saying? That's my intention, right? Yeah. So, you know, thank God for like IG Live, you know, and different platforms and streaming services that allow me, you know, now I've been interviewing people in Cali. Yeah. So I got like Cali, you know, now I got Texas, you know, I got Connecticut, I got the whole tri-state, I got Florida, I got Ohio, you know, I got people in Tennessee that, you know, people in Chicago that rock with me. So now if I bring an artist on, especially on my IG Live, I'm introducing that artist or producer to artists and producers that are around the nation. Yeah,
and you're building a network for us too.
Exactly. You know, so now it's really starting to work. So it's like no shade taken by you. They shouldn't take any that way because it's not that. You do have to kind of.
You have to.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't want to leave home, but you kind of got to. You know what I mean? And in order for me to do what I got to do, I got to go get the light. Yeah. Bring it here and now.
And bring it to us.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's how I do that. So shout out to you because, you know, you moving around is not crazy, right? Because you didn't even start here. Right. Right? You was out in Philly.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
And then came here and then was like, ran your course here and said, let me go. So then you leave us all and you go down, right? No. She left us all, right? She went down. So then down there you were doing more studio work or?
Yeah, I went down south for a little bit. Was working with a bunch of people in a studio near Florence, South Carolina. Oh, okay. That was short-lived. I had a great time, good experience. There was a lot of gospel music, and that helped me a lot with my harmonies and things, like crafting melody. So that was a great experience. Then I ended up leaving. I went back to Philly for a little while. I got a good job outside of music, and I just was focused on that a little, but also doing my thing on the side. And then I realized it was enough. I need to take this more seriously. I left the job, and now I'm doing music full time.
God bless
So
you.
it's scary every single day. But I make it work the way I can.
Yeah.
And you have to take the risks. It's like same thing as if it's a difference between having like a local restaurant where your community can get fed, but it's like to be a local artist, you can't feed everybody. It's too small, you know.
Right.
And you have to expand, and the traveling has helped, you know, and you
moving around.
Yeah, different experience, different culture, different whatever, you know. Yeah.
So now that you're getting versed in your studio work, I imagine you're recording yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
How's that coming along?
That's good. I'm working on a project now that is almost 100% engineered by me.
Oh, wow.
And if not, I was in there working
side by side.
with my engineer.
Gotcha.
And I have about 18 songs that I'm debating. I'm still working on how to structure it.
Sure.
Whether I would release it 5 at a time or something like that, or the whole project itself. But you know how they have short attention span. I don't think people are going to go through 18 songs anymore.
Right.
It's even harder for major celebrities for them to listen to the whole album, you know?
Yeah. It's a different animal nowadays too, with how you're delivering and how you package your music to the masses, right? It's like the approach.
Even from 5 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. Like from when you were here doing it in the beginning, I think the game's changed even from then.
Yeah, it has.
And I think that it was the way it is now then, but the means weren't there to get it to where we needed it to be.
Right.
And so what happened was, people were making a ton of music and still making 18-song albums, even on a local level.
Yeah.
They were suffering. There was no traction on them. There was, nobody they listened to it maybe once and or halfway through, I can't even listen no more. But not realizing that maybe the music isn't that bad. It's just that the audience does not want to consume it like that anymore.
No.
They want that quick injection.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Drop me a dope single. I'll rock that shit for 2 weeks and I want something else. That's how it is, So now with the way technology is and home studios being as good as they can be and different streaming platforms allowing you to do different things and TikToks of the world and all that. Now it's like, get a single, get a dope beat, and just ride that thing until they're bored of it, and then have another one.
Singles is the way to go.
Yeah, so when you talk about how to package your 18 songs, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, where do you go? Right.
So it's like,
I'll be lucky if I get 3 at a clip, that stick.
Yeah. Nowadays, how important is visuals for a song? Still important? More important?
Yeah, no, it's probably even more important. That's one thing I'm just always trying to elevate that. I think that's what is going to take people to the next level. You see there's, the songs that are out there, people are like, they're terrible, maybe. But the visual's good. They millions and millions of views. So yeah, I mean, that's the part that people should focus on. Once I realized, okay, I have the sound that I want, because it took me a long time to figure out what kind of music I wanted. And now it's the visuals, so that's a major focus for me now. Copy.
There's some really dope videographers out there now, and
sure.
So you can definitely get some cool things done video wise. So nowadays you're out in LI now.
Yeah, Long Island.
Yeah. And how you liking that?
Yeah, I love it. I love Long Island.
It's scenic out there for the videos. What I'm getting at,
close to the city. You got that, and then I can get
backdrop to the bay and all that.
Yes, the ocean. Get the best of all worlds there.
Yeah, that's fire. That's fire. And now, so just so I know, this is on a personal note, what is the tie back here? Is it people like Belle, you know what I'm saying, that are bringing or is it FinallyTV?
It's FinallyTV, that's what it is.
So what is the draw here? Is there family here? Is it just you have a bunch of friends here? What's going on?
Yeah, I have a big network of people here still. Okay. A lot of friends. I have my brother's here.
Okay, so you got family too. Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
And I'm trying to. I'm working with somebody now. I'm not going to mention any names, but we're trying to potentially build a new business structured a little bit different as kind of a media center rather than a recording studio. So that I wouldn't be as physically involved. I'd be a little more passively involved, but that's something that we're working on. And until it's set in stone, then I would release the information. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I'm excited. So I think that this area is so artistic and so creative. It's hard for me to just leave it all together.
Right.
You know, everybody
right.
here, I've met hundreds of artists out here, and they're all so talented.
Got you. They're not all that talented. Some of them are really good. We keep it real on Finally TV nowadays. I was like,
fair.
early on, you know, you try to just appease everybody.
Sure.
You know, you want to lay that blanket out there that I'm welcoming, and you know, I like your stuff just as much as the next person, and you know,
But is that helping them or hurting them?
It's
you know?
hurting.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I'm saying? It's hurting. So nowadays, I just keep it as real as possible.
Like
you know
that.
what I'm saying? There's like a lot less of a filter and stuff. But I'm just naturally not a mean person.
Yeah.
But the truth is that, you know, if it's not good enough, now I feel like it's my job to kind of tell you, like, you know, this just like ain't it. You
This
know what I
is
mean?
not it. Yeah,
Like,
for
don't be
sure.
mad at me, but. Like,
Yeah.
And then if you are mad at me, don't go, you know, away so mad. Just still go away though. You know, like,
Just go away.
You know, so okay. So here we are now. You're back in NY, or you know, close enough, right?
Yeah.
Music. 18 songs.
Yes.
You want to release stuff. What's out there right now? If somebody wants Brigavelli and they're listening to this interview, is there something they can go listen to?
Yeah. I got some new singles since obviously the last time we spoke. A song called "The Mirror."
Okay.
That's doing well. It's one of my favorites
Okay.
because it's obviously means what it says, like looking in the mirror, reflection.
Right.
It's kind of something that I went through as far as like, I'd say like partying too much and like just not knowing like who I was, and like I just
Sure.
constantly was like changing
Sure.
myself for the people that I was around, or like just wasn't there for myself. So now I guess, you know, you grow up and you realize what you are, who you are.
Yeah.
So that song helped me. And then I have another one called Web of Lies.
Okay.
Kind of like a sultry sounding song, obviously about lies and a liar. No names.
Right.
But
Did you
yeah.
name drop in the song or no?
No.
Does that person know who it is when they hear the song?
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you write it that way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was some like specific information in there. Someone would be like, oh.
I'm gonna go listen again.
It's all good though.
No, that's dope. Okay, so and it's still just Brigavelli if they want to find you somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm. Brigavelli on
yeah.
everything.
It's on the screen, so don't worry about
Yeah.
spelling it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, no, that's dope. Okay, and now I know, you know, you've been working on some things, and out of those 18 songs, are you including a couple that you had mentioned to me in that
No.
repertoire? That's outside of that.
Yeah, that's outside
So
of
you're
that.
super excited about things you got going on, which is cool. You were telling me about how those relationships came together, and I love those conversations here for people listening that might not realize the power of doing what you do.
Yeah.
So just recap for me real quick how it was that you ended up in a room with some particular people, because I think that's important for people to hear.
Okay. Well, it's really about networking, in my opinion.
Right.
I wrote a song for a movie that's around here. And then that connection put me into another room, another studio, because we were trying to finalize the song. Then that specific connection brought me to another studio just to get on a feature for fun. We didn't really have any expectations. We get on this song. I write the hook, so I pretty much structured the concept for the song. A rapper on there, he gets on it, and the same person that brought me in the room. Then that rapper puts a major group on there, a big feature, which we talked about.
Yeah.
And then I go and do the music video for it. We shoot the music video, and I get to meet them.
Yeah.
And then I get into another room. So every time it's like a little stepping stone, bringing me to the next thing. So any one of those steps, if I had misstepped, I wouldn't have made the right connection.
Right.
You can drink too much, you smoke too much, you know, just say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, and you won't get to that next step that led me in that 5 different places that got me to this major accolade that I wouldn't have had before. And if I didn't make the song, like I wrote the song, I did it for free. I had no expectations. I paid for my own studio time. My producer. And
hang on right there.
with no expectation.
And you did it for
Free.
because of why?
Because I wanted to take another step.
Right.
Sometimes you bargain yourself,
Right.
you know?
Right.
I'm a little humble when it comes to like getting paid and stuff. Like I try not to do too many shows that are free anymore,
Right.
or figure out a way to get myself paid, sell tickets.
Sure.
But as far as that was concerned,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any kind of contract. I said, you know what, I'll do it 100%,
Mm-hmm.
no problem. Paid for my own studio time, paid for the producer, wrote the song, and finished it. He loved it, like obsessed with the song. And then he loved it so much, he said, I want to introduce you to somebody else who's
Right.
even bigger.
Right.
And then got bigger and bigger and bigger every single time. So I performed every time in those studios.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have the experience I had here,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to perform with such confidence that I have
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You know?
That's so dope, Brig.
5
man.
years ago, I probably wouldn't have been invited in any of those rooms if I didn't cultivate things the way I did.
Right.
So I'm happy and grateful for it.
Right. So you attribute all of that happening to just being open-minded,
Yeah.
networking, being out there, being outside,
Humble too.
and being humble.
Yeah.
Right.
That's one thing. You can never go in there and say, well, maybe some people say you have to act like the best, be the best.
Right.
But I also think you have to stay humble and be quiet, especially when there's people more successful than you in the room. You be a fly on the wall and you don't say anything. You don't know better. You just listen and watch.
Right.
And that's put me where it is. I
that's dope.
never really talked up my own skill.
Right. Right.
I
right.
just have had my work show for it.
No, it seems like, you kind of, like you said earlier, you found yourself.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? Or
For
at least the direction you want to put yourself in,
Yes,
right? Because
yes.
that can be tough too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, for all of us just as human beings, it can be tough to figure out, where you fit in and,
Yeah.
and what it is. You know what I mean? So that's dope for you that you got to that point. I'm not there yet. One day I'll get there.
I think you're there.
One day I'll figure out what I want to do. Right? So, but I think it's dope for you that you've achieved that. Now, when you say I listen to my old music, just like I could say when I listen to my old interviews, I
Ugh,
cringe too, right? Like
so
it's like
cringe.
I was such a novice, right? So like in that, do you hear and see the progression, right?
Yeah.
From song. So what does a new Brigavelli song? What are components there that make it different from your earlier stuff?
And in the beginning, I for some reason just stayed away from pop sounds. Like I just never wanted to be classified in the pop world, but I always loved it. It's very, it comes very natural to me.
Yep.
And now I've just been able to like figure out the soul / pop / kind of R&B and blend it together, and it just works for me. And it feels good. It feels good to make music like that rather than forcing like some of the like older hip hop tracks and stuff I was trying to get on. Maybe I had the voice, but not necessarily the I don't know, maybe rhythm for it. I don't know.
Okay.
So I've been able to just get into like a different experience, with the new music.
So it sounds like you're just more comfortable.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like I liken it to like being an artist. I'm always amazed by people who could draw and stuff because it's like, how did you do that? With like, and when you talk to them, they'll tell you like, I see it, like I see it, and I'm just putting it here.
Yeah.
And it's like
I don't understand that.
Yeah, like huh?
I can hear it. I get it.
You know what I'm saying? But like that always will amaze me how you could see it in your head and translate it here.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's amazing to me in itself, that ability. So like with the artistry and music, like I was saying earlier, if you know what type of sound you want, cool. But learning how to execute it is the beauty, is where the money is. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you, because it sounds like you're getting there. You know what I'm saying? I love that. So you talked about some, getting outside for videos and stuff. Do we got shows coming up? You planning that later? What we got?
Yeah, I have a potential show coming up.
Okay.
I kind of took the summer off from shows. It was starting to get to be a lot, which is a good problem to have. But like I said, I'm trying to pick and choose what's priority. But August 22nd, I'll have a show in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'll have more details for that. Get some flyers and things like that going.
Okay.
But other than that, I'm focusing more inside the studio.
Gotcha.
And then trying to, up the visuals and things like that too.
Okay, all right. So people should be on the lookout. Brigavelli.
Yeah.
coming with some new stuff.
Yeah.
She's got some stuff out there, Mirrors, and what was the other one called?
Webalize.
Webalize.
Yeah.
You know, so that y'all can go listen to that. Put the links down below so you could hear that. You know, make sure you liking and following and whatever you got to do. So is it everywhere? They can just search anywhere?
Yeah, Brigavelli under everything, all platforms.
Got you.
Spotify, Apple, Instagram, Facebook, you know, all the other digital platforms.
Fire, I like it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need to talk about right now?
As far as music and everything, you know, we have the mutual connection with Drawzilla. He's always been like one of the biggest mentors to me. You know, the past 10 years we've had, you know, we have a great friendship.
He's a great dude. Yeah.
And he just, you know, he guides me in the right direction as far as sounds and things. So he's just been like really, in my opinion, very instrumental in my growth. And just recently he told me, he's like, you know, I'm really proud of you, the things that you've done. So it meant a lot because I've always just looked up to him, you know, all the things that he does.
Yeah, no. Because he's been in the dirt and got it out the mud. Shout out to Drawzilla.
Yeah, always.
You know what I mean? He's just always doing his things. Always, you know, those synergies that he does, the producer and otherwise. Those are all great events to have. You know, like that's where we got some interviews off. You know what I mean? So shout out to the Yard. It'd be dope if the Yard came back.
I know, I love the Yard.
You know, I might have to do the Yard.
Yeah.
You know,
can you throw it?
You know, that would be kind of dope to do. So. No, we're looking forward to hearing these new songs.
Thank you.
I can't wait for you to start promoting what you got yourself into with those.
I got a little bit on Instagram right now, but you know, I don't tend to talk about it too much yet.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool, but it's on the way.
Yes.
So another successful interview here at FinallyTV, Voice of the Valley, Brigavelli, hailing from Long Island now. But make sure you're not a stranger. Make sure you're saying what's up. And, you know, we wish you all the luck over here, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I love you always.
Briggs, be well. For Brigavelli, for Belle, for Gabriel, for the dogs, for Angie. It's FinallyTV. Y'all be good. Y'all stay safe. Make sure you subscribe. You haven't subscribed already? Are you out of your mind? Why are you even watching this?
What the hell?
Subscribe to the channel, y'all. Y'all be good. Peace.